Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, September 1st, 5:46 a.m. Central as I speak here. December corn futures down 8 3/4 at 661 3/4. November soybeans down 16.5 at 1406. December Chicago wheat down 9 at 822.5. December Kansas City wheat down 9.5 at 903. December spring wheat down 8 1/4 at 921 1/4. If you guys are listening on the podcast, as always, appreciate it. Leave me a rating, leave me a review on that Apple app. If you're watching on YouTube, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know what's going on in your neighborhood. If you have any opinion on any of the stuff that I say here, absolutely drop it in the comments. All of those things will help YouTube to help me to grow this channel. If you'd like some additional information from me, go to my website, www.standardgrain.com. Check out my premium subscription service today, guys. I send my premium subscribers a ton of information direct from me every single business day. Morning email goes out about 5:30 a.m. Central Time. In that email, you will see every overnight headline you need to be aware of, whole bunch of charts and graphics that I put together. My daily subscriber-only videos are part of this deal. Yesterday, I ran a whole bunch of charts, long-term grain charts, interest rates, stock market, some outside commodities. I think a lot of this stuff is intertwined right now, and I discussed that. I discussed some of the recession indicators that I'm seeing within the markets. If you guys are interested in this sort of content, sign up today. $50 a month, cancel at any time, no other fee, no other obligation. Nobody will try to sell you anything else, I promise. We will not see a weekly export sales report again this morning. The weekly export sales report typically come out on Thursday mornings at 7:30 a.m. Central. The USDA has had difficulties launching a new reporting system. Foreign Ag Service Administrator David Whitley said this in a press release that was up on their website. As a result of unanticipated difficulties with the launch of the new export sales reporting and maintenance system, USDA's Foreign Agricultural Service will temporarily revert to the legacy system while we work to fully resolve the issues with the new system. FAS will be unable to publish weekly export sales data on Thursday, September 1st or Thursday, September 8th, but we expect to resume regular reporting on Thursday, September 15th. Since the system relies on data submission by exporters, FAS is working closely with individual exporters to ensure that past, current, and future export sales data are accurate. Our staff will continue to conduct outreach and provide support to both data reporters and data users in anticipation of the relaunch of the new system. So long story short, no export sales report this week, no export sales report next week. This would be a nice time of year to see weekly export sales reports. Just as one example, there's been a lot of chatter regarding China and some larger soybean purchases. We'll see a flash sale here or there, but China likes to kind of split this stuff up so that some of it flies under the daily reporting system. So we'd like to see this. I've heard a number of theories regarding this. I was told that China hacked the USDA. I was told that Russia hacked the USDA. I was told that USDA just sucks. And I was also told that USDA has some sort of evil plot to keep grain prices low, and grain prices aren't low. But in any case, guys, no report today. Russian wheat exports are expected to rise in September. Well-followed group Econ estimates that Russian wheat exports declined by 27% during the July to August timeframe, despite the fact that they've got a record crop. Econ estimates September wheat exports, or that they will be, about 4 million metric tons, which would be up from 3.5 in August. One trader said this: "Of course, with such a large crop and the port infrastructure capacity, it would be possible to make 6 million metric tons a month, but it's purely a question of finding markets. We do not see a rush in demand yet." Russia, of course, has had issues with payments and logistics as a result of Western sanctions, although there are no sanctions specific to Russian agricultural exports. So Russia has a monster crop. They've got the cheapest wheat available on the export market, yet they're having trouble finding buyers for it. So any story that you're seeing regarding food shortages as it relates to wheat is simply a fabrication at this point in time. That was a story that may have been true or may have been thought to be true several months ago, but when you got this sort of news floating out there, no, there's not a food shortage or a shortage of wheat at this point in time when you've got a massive producer and massive exporter sitting on a record crop that they can't sell. Ukraine's 2023 wheat harvest is likely to fall very sharply. So, some more Black Sea wheat news here. There's a group called the Ukrainian Agrarian Council, and I believe they're a group that just represents farmers within the country. They believe that winter wheat acreage will decline by 30 to 40% versus last year. Farmers are dealing with a lack of funds and other issues related to the invasion. Ukraine harvested an estimated 19 million metric tons of wheat this year, and that number was down sharply from 33 million in 2021. So that 33 was your last pre-invasion number. They're now estimating next year's wheat harvest at just 15 million metric tons. So that would be down, more than 50% from pre-invasion type levels. The group also expects yields to stay relatively low due to a possible increase in fertilizer usage. And I've heard that. I think one of the Ukrainian government officials mentioned similar statistics, like 30 to 40% decline in wheat acreage. So, this thing continues to impact Ukraine. The shipping program's doing all right, probably better than most had expected, but they've still got major problems there. U.S. ethanol production declined marginally last week. Weekly output 970,000 barrels per day. That was off about 2% on the week, up 7% versus the same week last year. Normal enough seasonal print. Production generally will increase when harvest corn deliveries begin in like late September, early October, that sort of time frame. Ethanol stocks were off just marginally on the week, but they are still at their highest level on record seasonally. Gasoline demand is soft. On average, over the last 4 weeks, implied demand for gasoline in the United States is running 6.4% versus the same period last year. Gasoline demand on average over the last 4 weeks is actually very close to where it was in 2020 and well below last year's levels. And that's part of the reason why we've seen gasoline prices ease at the pump, is because demand has just been reduced. Looking at the weather, U.S. radar mostly quiet this morning. Some scattered stuff maybe over parts of Texas, maybe parts of Montana, Corn Belt, most of the plains, almost completely dry. Next 7 days and beginning like early-ish next week, you'll see some rains return to Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, eastern Corn Belt, maybe heavier rains in the Mid-South and the Gulf Coast, maybe some rains for Kansas, maybe for Oklahoma. No big sweeping system or anything like that across the Corn Belt. I'm not seeing any threat of frost anywhere. As a matter of fact, your 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day outlook calls for above normal temperatures for the vast majority of the country. Rainfall is going to be kind of sparse here during that 6 to 10 day period, which is September 6th through the 10th. U.S. exporters sold some soybeans to China, so the flash sale system is working. It's just a weekly reporting system is not working. So USDA reported a flash sale of 167,000 metric tons. That's about 6 million bushels of soybeans to China for delivery during the 22-23 marketing year, which begins today. Chatter regarding much larger Chinese purchases circulate not only from the United States, but also from Brazil and maybe Argentina also. But again, we've got no way of seeing accumulated activity without seeing a weekly export sales report, and we're not going to see one for a couple weeks. Large Chinese buying of U.S. soybeans would be pretty normal this time of year. COVID lockdowns are back in China. The massive city of Chengdu in the country's southwest will lock down 21 million residents in order to contain a COVID outbreak. To this point, the western part of China, has been largely unaffected by COVID and lockdowns. So this is the biggest city in China to face lockdowns since Shanghai locked down for a couple months earlier this year. So traders, again, like fearing economic slowdown. It's like same story, different day when it comes to China. That city is home to Toyota Motors, Foxconn Technologies, which is the world's largest iPhone assembler, Intel, and a bunch of other tech firms also have operations in that city. Live cattle futures were lower yesterday. No cash trade to speak of. The August contract is now off the board, so October is spot month. 142.57 was the settlement there yesterday. Feeder cattle, more of a mixed bag. U.S. dollar is higher ahead of the cash open. The S&P is down 28 points. The Dow down 200. Stock market's been awfully soft since Powell provided those hawkish comments at Jackson Hole last week. Bonds are down a full handle. Gold's down $15. Crude oil is down again, down $2.31 at 87.24 in the October WTI. Have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you Friday.